Hey Aries, welcome to a reading for you for the full moon here in February. Full moon in Leo coming up on February 12th. It's going to be a very potent full moon. Leo is all about heart-forward expression, love, leadership, pride, just being like absolutely fully yourself, fully self-expressed. So as we come into this full moon in Leo, it's going to be a strong one. The full moon in and of itself is already a time of expression and letting it out, letting things flow. So Aries, let's see what you guys have going on. This is one of my all-time favorite decks. And we're going to do a few mini readings for, you get an extra. The full moon coming up. So Aries, what do you guys need to know about this full moon coming up? Where are you now? What's kind of your current energy coming into the full moon? Okay, great. So are you feeling a little disappointed, unhappy about things that are going on? The sun in reverse says there could be a real focus on what your real true joy is and a lack of it at this moment. You might be really feeling like unable to access that, or like you're not quite there yet when it comes to manifestations that are really important to you right now. Like you're so focused on your happiness, you're so focused on bringing that in and trying to figure out what it is, if it's not here, and if it's not here, why. And there feels like a lot of mental energy around this, like a lot of thinking about it. And sometimes Aries, our thinking can get in the way of just the doing or the being. So the message here immediately is just to like look around for the little things you can be grateful for, really settle into like the gratitude of each and every moment, which when you're not feeling fulfilled, or if you're feeling particularly disappointed or sad about something, can be hard to do. But it can be as easy as like, okay, great, I can breathe fresh air today. I have clean water to drink that I can get like straight out of the tap. I don't have to walk 8 miles for it. I'm in good health today. Or if you're not in good health, I have good people around me. Whatever it is, like the things that we often take for granted can be some of the biggest sources of joy and peace and happiness if we really sink into the gratitude of that. And everything that's for you is coming for you. So I think that's what I'm sensing is there feels like a lot of pressure here towards happiness or fulfillment or the manifestation of what you're working on. And if you're not quite seeing it yet, don't worry, it's coming for you. I feel like you have to set aside something you're thinking or planning or like trying too hard to get there, and it will come. Speaking of, what has been manifesting for you guys since the new moon? So what have you been building? What's been coming in? The Conqueror of Cups in reverse. There could be a real undoing of something that you've been feeling. Like the Conqueror of Cups is it's the Knight of Cups. And so it's very much like a savior complex. It's a very romantic figure. It's a very suave, like heart on his sleeve or her sleeve, someone who wants to come into your life and just sweep you off your feet, show you the most amazing romantic time, but then like maybe doesn't have a house to go back to because they're traveling through, or like there's these like concrete details with the Knight of Cups that they like overlook sometimes in their just like sweeps of passion and wanting to like do nice things and express nice things and follow their heart and be in the moment and just come in and sweep you up. So since the new moon, there's really been a reconciling of that energy in your life, Aries. You could have been cutting someone out that felt like it was too good to be true, or maybe, here we go. You could be facing a situation where there was like an offer of love, a new lover, a new experience that felt too good to be true, and you're kind of facing the fact since the new moon, like really bringing in this realization that like, maybe that's actually not the vibe. Maybe that's actually not going to work out for me in the way that I wanted to. Maybe I'm kind of seeing and sensing some of the reality around the situation, not just the like love conquers all, except we don't have any food to eat or any money to pay the rent. And there could be maybe a little coming to Jesus moment with that right now. And that would kind of explain a lot of the thinking going on around this sense of happiness. But ultimately, true happiness lies with real compatibility, whether that's in a job or your love life or home life or whatever it is. Real ultimate happiness, the sun, true integrated joy, comes from real happiness, comes from the real connection, not like the fake connection. And it's never fake, but like, if this isn't going to last, there's a real sense of like coming to terms with whatever is like not lasting in your life, especially as it comes to relationships, or how you're feeling emotionally or characters in your life. Ooh, Aries, it's like you're really getting to the bottom of things. Okay, what would be really helpful for you this full moon to release? The Six of Swords. Okay, fascinating. So it could be good for you to stay. And I don't know if that means stay in this relationship, stay in this dynamic, stay in this job. And maybe that's not forever, but there's some sense of needing to like sit in the discomfort right now before you take the next steps, before you take the next steps into further commitment, before you take the next steps into like moving or leaving. There's something that's not quite finished yet. The Six of Swords is about moving on to greener pastures, leaving conflict behind. And I guess I'm surprised to see this after kind of this moment of like, great, I'm really understanding that this isn't working for me or something, it doesn't feel very happy. But there could be, there's clearly a message here that if you need to let go of this, if you need to release this, there's a sense of needing to release like wanting to leave, wanting to run away from the situation. You're not done with it quite yet. There's still another lesson here to learn. Obviously, if you're in like an abusive situation or like a toxic work environment, like whatever it is, stay the course. Like don't be a dum-dum. With all my love, don't be a dum-dum. Don't be totally rash. But I'll give an example from my own life so that this might become more clear. I was in a very toxic work environment for a while and really wanted to leave. And I was like, okay, by the end of April, this particular time, I was like giving myself 1 month to just transfer jobs. And it just didn't happen that quickly. It did eventually happen, of course, but I actually needed through like May and June to actually integrate a lot of things. It was some of the hardest months of my life, but I was actually calm and ready to transition at the end of June. Whereas I think if I had left in a huff and just like up and out of there in April, like I was so ready to do, I probably would have gone from like the pan to the fire, right? Like I would have left a job like very upset and manifested something just like that right on the other side. So whether this is a job like my example or a relationship, right? If you leave in a big huff or with things not resolved, the universe is telling you that there is something left here to digest and to work through to your benefit. And once you do that, you won't just necessarily go on to creating like the next thing that's exactly the same as what you're trying to leave. So even, I feel it's like stretchy. It's like you're so ready for the next chapter, but you're not quite there yet. And you so want to be, I know Aries, like as an archetype, as an energy is so ready to just like, up and leave, make it happen. We're doing it now. And sometimes life just doesn't work like that. So I feel like the universe is like really asking you to stretch into this discomfort zone. And I just get that whatever is coming next for you is going to be so good, Aries. Okay, what are you manifesting? What can you be excited about bringing in and celebrating this full moon? Ruler of Cups. Wow. The message is celebrating and bringing in, not knowing, not having to be the person that has it all together, not having to support other people or hold other people's emotional experience going forward. You don't have to be the linchpin that everyone else relies on. And if you are, this is really, the message is asking you to manifest ways to kind of get out of that situation, because there's a lot of pressure in that, right? If you are the person that your family relies on solely for like all of the emotional support, or if you're the person that like holds your friend group together, or if you're the person in your relationship that's always doing the emotional labor, this is saying like you gotta give it up. Manifest moving into the future, creating boundaries, creating a space for you that feels really good, and support when you want, but you don't have to be the person that does it all. Aries, you got to let other people in, and you have to let go of the responsibility of carrying the weight of everything. So this is really beautiful, actually. It will help you lighten the load and expectations, and it will help you like just focus on what's important for you and your own happiness, and like let go of being responsible for other people's emotional well-being. Finishing it, let go, manifest, and then kind of what's our last overall energy here for you, Aries? The Lovers in reverse, girl. Okay, well, if you showed up to this reading asking for a sign about whether to stay or go, the sign is go. The sign is leave the relationship. The sign is like some kind of transition. If you didn't come here looking for that sign and your relationship is on the rocks or you're going through a tough time, this doesn't necessarily mean a breakup, but this does mean a choice. What choice are you making? The Lovers is about choosing, and it asks you to choose from love and not fear. But sometimes love is making the decision to step away from a dynamic that isn't helping us anymore. So you have to decide. But the Lovers in reverse here, this is really about deciding. It's really giving me this like codependency vibe, right? This whole reading is about really reestablishing yourself, Aries. Like this full moon for you might be coming out. Like I just see this full moon in Leo, like your heart forward, stepping forward as like someone who is so proud to take care of you, to release the chains of what isn't working, and to like release these expectations or these false promises. Something came forward that was like a false promise for you, Aries. Someone said they were going to do something for you, or they thought they were going to show up in a certain way. And it's not quite time to make like a very fast transition, but you have to like let go of old goodbyes, but coming into the future. So maybe it's a real rearranging of your relationship or dynamic or job situation. There's definitely a big shift coming for you for the better, because despite the fact that these are like in the reverse position and we're sort of speaking to a challenging dynamic, the Sun, your happiness, and the Lovers, the best connection ever, are on the board for you, Aries. Like that's what we're really talking about. And Spirit threw you this extra card. What does Spirit want you to know? Ooh, Justice in reverse. Oh my gosh. Wow. As like an extra card. Okay. This is God like telling, or whatever word you use for God, I don't have any like weight to it. So to me, that means like the spirit of the universe, like, you know, the consciousness that holds us all together. Justice in reverse. God is giving you this message that's like, I see you. It's not fair. I see what you've been through. You've been through a lot. You are going to get yours. Don't assume that this situation is going to work out fairly for you. It's not. And I see you and I'm holding you through this. And the more you can just understand that, like, let go of whatever isn't working, because it's probably not going to work out the way that you want, or you're not going to get the amount of work that you put into it, right? So justice is like about being fair, about the weighing of the scales, about things working out likely in your favor, about you getting yours, about you being paid for the work that you did. So when we see it in reverse, it's like something really isn't fair. There's an inverse receptivity here, and I feel like the universe is just throwing you this bone, Aries, to say, I see you and I'm so here for the fact that this has been messed up for you or uncomfortable for you or like unbalanced for you, and don't even worry about it. I am like so here to support you through this. Ooh, I just feel it, Aries. I feel it for you. Let's go ahead and just get like one last oracle card for you guys for the full moon in Leo vibes. Aries, this looks like a jam, man. It looks like a bit of a crux that you're going through, a bit of a like rock in a hard place. But I mean, I want to say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, but that sucks to hear sometimes. I just get the feeling that whatever you're going through, there's such good stuff on the other side of it, and it's like all for your benefit. So what oracle card is got you here? Oh, passion, the soul. Oof. So much of you wants to come through here, Aries. Like so much of your actual soul's purpose is shining through this reading. And it's like, you want to be seen, you want to be recognized, you want to be loved, you want to be held, you want to like soar in whatever this project is or whatever this dynamic is. And it hasn't been able to happen. And you've been held back in certain ways, and you've been really disappointed in certain ways. And you are so here for the vision of your life, Aries. You are so here to see it through. You are so here to see this relationship through, or you were, or this job through, or you were, and it's not working out and things are changing and shifting, and your soul's purpose is still showing up. The passion you have inside of you is not contained to this situation, right? I'm going to say that again. The passion inside of you is not contained to this situation. Oh, I just love it. It's like, okay, great. Here's all the BS you're kind of sorting through, and here's like, you know, leave this, get this going. But like the universe is just coming through with some big bombs for you, Aries, to say like, you got this. I see you. You're doing so great. It's like you are just like bursting through with some really big things this full moon, either aha moments or big manifestations or big ways that you are showing up in the world, and you're not letting yourself be held back. That's what I'm really feeling. It's like, despite all odds, you are not going to be held back. Ooh, getting chills. Aries, I hope you have the best experience through this week in this full moon. Let me know how it goes, and I'm sending you so much love.